You are most welcome once again on BTM Health. It's 9th of December 2022. Merry Christmas, our viewers and everyone watching BTM Health tonight. As I had earlier promised, and as you've seen in our communication platforms, we shall be bringing to you Dr. Kurigamba Gideon, and he will be discussing with us about hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids is a medical condition. I don't know if it is also a surgical, doctor. And you're most welcome to the studios of BTM Studios. You can introduce yourself and viewers will be able to get to you. You're most welcome, doctor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamara. I'm Dr. Gideon Kurigamba. I'm a gastrointestinal and laparoscopic surgeon from two mother organizations. My first mother organization is Mulago National Referral Hospital, where I also double as the head of accident and emergency. And my second mother organization, we call it Society of Uganda Gastrointestinal and Endoscopic Surgeons, which has an umbrella organization which we call Association of Surgeons of Uganda.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. You are most welcome once again in our studios. Our viewers want to welcome you from the course of the week and want to remind you of our sponsors of this health talk show, and that's Arena Medical Center that's located on Mawanda Road off Kareire. They offer a range of medical services ranging from pediatrics, gynecology, internal medicine, pediatrics, reproductive health services, scan, antenatal and delivery services. Who can be found on 0739 3255139. And also Smile Nutraceuticals, they are here for you in Christmas period. They are located on Boise Road and they have organic health products for you. Their products include extra manpower for my gentlemen outside there. Please, Towera Vira, this is Christmas. Grab your extra manpower and you do your work. They also have ulcerid. Do not get ulcers and you miss out Christmas meat. They also have very many products, as you can be seeing in our adverts running on the screen. Once again, doctor, the viewers tonight, they want to know what are hemorrhoids. So what are hemorrhoids, doctor? Even it is a question already on our Facebook pages. People want to know what are hemorrhoids.
Yeah, so hemorrhoids is a medical condition or a medical term which looks at swelling of blood vessels around the anal opening. So around our anal opening, there is a lot of blood supply. So with this blood supply, sometimes the vessels there, they get congested. And once they get congested and they swell, then we refer to that as hemorrhoids. Now, maybe just running by a bit forth, these hemorrhoids, because blood will flow from the heart when it reaches these vessels, or when it reaches these tissues, then it's utilized, gives oxygen and has to go back to the heart to pick more oxygen from the lungs, and the cycle of life continues. But now what happens when you have anything that increases pressure on the rectum? Okay, anything that increases pressure on the rectum, so prevents this blood from flowing back, it will indirectly cause these vessels to swell, and so that gives you hemorrhoids. And what are some of these things? Maybe
of course
ask myself, or maybe for the viewers.
The causes of hemorrhoids now?
Yes, so
what can cause those veins to bulge?
Exactly. And just as I've rightly said, anything that increases pressure on the rectum. One of the commonest things is women during pregnancy. Once the pregnancy is advancing, it increases pressure, somehow reducing the flow of blood, and that will cause these hemorrhoids to swell. That is temporary because the pregnancy they are going to deliver eventually and they will go. Number two is anything, say for example, constipation. Someone who is constipated, you get constipation, this blood will fail to go because of the impact of the stool on the walls of the rectum, and that will cause hemorrhoids.
So doctor, how long does the constipation be for somebody to qualify to get the hemorrhoids?
Once you have constipation and you have need to strain for you to pass stool, it indirectly means that you're pushing, as you strain, you're pushing these vessels down, but also this stool is causing more pressure on the walls, so these vessels will prolapse out. Okay?
Okay.
Thirdly, we have what we call tumors of the rectum. Okay? Some people have cancer of the rectum, and this cancer will also cause pressure on the flow of blood, and so that pressure on the flow of blood will also indirectly give you these hemorrhoids. The last interesting thing are people who enjoy going to the toilet and they sit on the toilet for 40 minutes. Long sits on the toilet.
Because of WhatsApp and Twitter?
You're on WhatsApp, that's when you remember to WhatsApp everyone. That's when you remember to read newspapers, okay? So these people who are on, you sit on the toilet for long. And this is, of course, with the modern way of life. But before, or in our villages, you realize we have squat toilets. So these squat toilets, you can't be on them for, or spit latrines. You can't squat for 40 minutes. And the design of the rectum is in such a way that when you squat, the rectum straightens, and so you empty easily. When you sit, the rectum bends. When it bends, you have difficulty in passing stool. So the longer you sit, the more difficult you have to pass stool, and the worse these ones get.
So, doctor, do you feel that these pit latrines are more convenient and good for a person, maybe for people who are likely not to get the hemorrhoids, more than these people who use these sitting toilets?
Yes, and evidently, when you go to the rural areas, we don't have a lot of these hemorrhoids. Okay, because of that. Okay, yeah, and also here in our city settings, most people will eat junk food, chikomando, very common. Okay, very common junk food. They take little water, and that somehow one causes less blood and also less fluid within the stool. The bulk of the stool is less, and once the bulk of the stool is less, then eventually you get constipated and the cycle of the pressure continues.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. Our viewers who have just joined us on BTM Health tonight, we are discussing about hemorrhoids. So far, we've already defined hemorrhoids, or we have already known what hemorrhoids mean. And Doctor has been telling us the causes of hemorrhoids. What are the likely causes that can bring hemorrhoids to us as people? And Doctor has cautioned the people who take the advantage of going to the toilets to sit for longer times and read maybe WhatsApp messages, Twitter, and newspapers, that those people are at a high risk of getting hemorrhoids, and very many, as we are all hearing. We want to welcome you once again. Reminder that we can be streamed live on our Facebook pages on BTM Health, or at Kamara Daniel 3 Twitter account and Kamara Daniel Facebook pages, and you comment and put your questions there, and they can be found and be mentioned here in the studios of BTM Health tonight. So, Doctor, thank you so much for telling us the causes. Do you think these hemorrhoids can be prevented?
Yes, these hemorrhoids can be prevented. One, by avoiding the causes. Okay?
Directly?
Now, some causes can be avoided, some causes may not be avoided. For example, you can't avoid pregnancy. Once you're pregnant, then
You have to wait for the
pregnancy to end. Yeah. But for example, we talked about long periods of sitting on the toilet. Okay, so go do your business. Once the business is done, leave the toilet. That is one way. Number two is hydration. Most people don't like hydration. Hydration means at least 3 liters of lukewarm water per day for an adult. Now, once you hydrate, you have less constipation, and with less constipation, you are less likely to get hemorrhoids. 3 is a high fiber diet. Now, this high fiber diet includes things like greens, things like the boogers, the nakati, okay? And even our fast, you know, the other grade 1 posho, the other chachu, the very rough grade 1 posho.
But we don't like it, doctor.
We don't like it, doesn't taste good, but that is very good high fiber diet. And that high fiber diet helps to increase what we call the bulk of stool. So once you have the bulk or the volume of stool being more, stool moves faster than when you have a small bulk of stool, especially in the large intestines. And that indirectly helps us to prevent these hemorrhoids. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you so much, doctor, once again. He's called Dr. Gideon Krigamba. Has a lot of profession, as you all heard, but I had a laparoscopic gastroenterologist surgeon, and he's here explaining about hemorrhoids. So, doctor, you're going to quickly tell us about the people who are at a risk of getting hemorrhoids. Are the children also below 10 years or maybe below 5 years also likely to get hemorrhoids? Or which category of people except the pregnant mothers, for those that have already had? So, which other people are more likely to get hemorrhoids?
One, children by nature or design, their intestines are still short. So the transit time of stool is shorter. That's why a neonate, you're going to empty their diapers 12 times, 13 times a day, because what goes in easily comes out. As the child keeps growing, then the length of the intestine keeps also increasing. So because of that design, children will almost not get hemorrhoids. It's something that comes in adults. Now, when you find a child who is developing hemorrhoids, then there is a cause that is usually from birth, or when the child is within the womb, which we call congenital. So these congenital causes, or causes that come from birth, what lead to constipation. Okay, there are some specific conditions that usually affect the large intestines, and this somehow will cause some bits of swellings, but children by design, they don't get these hemorrhoids.
Okay.
2 is when the presentation of the hemorrhoids, which we'll talk about maybe at some point. Some children, they present in ways that look like hemorrhoids, but they are not hemorrhoids. So parents tend to think these are hemorrhoids, but there are some things we call polyps, which also tend to bleed when someone goes to the toilet. And so a parent might think my child has hemorrhoids, but they have maybe polyps, which are also from birth, which we call congenital polyps. Okay? Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so it's mostly the adults, and because of usually behavior.
How about obesity? Are obese people likely to have hemorrhoids?
Now, obesity obesity has like 3 arms we can look at, okay? One is that mostly obese people tend to eat a lot of junk food, which doesn't have fiber, and because it doesn't have fiber, they take long to go to the toilet, okay? And so that in itself will cause constipation and hemorrhoids. Number 2 is that obese people by default, they have a lot of abdominal pressure because of the obesity, okay? So the pressure around the abdomen is much, and this will lead to pressure on the rectum, and so somehow they end up with hemorrhoids, okay? 3 is that these obese people now, because of the constipation, they go to the toilet, they are likely to take longer. And as they take longer seated on these toilets, because maybe they are also comfortable there, after walking some staircases and you find where to sit, then you take longer in the toilet, then you're likely to develop these hemorrhoids.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Gideon Kurigamba, once again in BTM House, live on BTM Studios. Tonight we have been discussing about hemorrhoids. For viewers who have just joined us right now, we're discussing about hemorrhoids. We've talked about causes, we've also cited the people who are at a risk of getting the hemorrhoids. We're going for a short quick break. When we return, we shall be discussing about the signs and symptoms of hemorrhoids. If you have hemorrhoids, how do you present? So when we return, that's the topic.
Are you looking for a one-stop center to host your conference or meeting, wedding parties, workshops or seminars? Thobani Conference Center has the perfect modern space for your event. We have spacious outdoor and indoor space to accommodate over 1,000 and below 150 people, offering free lighting, LED screens, free sound system, free chairs, free Wi-Fi, and secure basement parking space. Drop by at Cafe at 2 and we will be at your service with our finest coffee, espresso, cappuccino, and cafe latte. Enjoy incredibly delicious meals, grab a milkshake or a cocktail juice. Only at Cafe at 2. And that's not all. We have the latest video games for the game lovers. We are located in the city center at the Thobani Center Building Level 2 along Ginger Road opposite DFCU Bank. For more information and bookings, call 0772 307875 or 0750 647486. Thobani Conference Center, the place to be.
Once again, it's me, Kamara Daniel, on BTM Health tonight with Dr. Gideon Kurigamba discussing about hemorrhoids. As I had earlier promised, we shall be discussing about the signs and symptoms. A quick reminder about Arena Medical Center that's located on Mawanda Road. They offer a range of medical services. In such Christmas period, in case you experience any medical condition, run there for an emergency and they'll be able to help you out. And also a quick reminder for those who want beauty skins and also extra manpower to look nice and perform well in bed and also to get rid of ulcers, kindly check out on Sibanye Nutraceuticals that is located on Boise Road. They'll be able to help you. So, doctor, once again, you're most welcome. And our viewers, they are appreciating so much and they want to know now the signs and symptoms. If I have hemorrhoids, can the public know, or I'm the one who feels the signs and symptoms?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamara. The signs and symptoms. The very first sign and the very first symptom that we tend to see people get is we call it painless parectal bleeding. Painless meaning you go to the toilet and you pass stool. One, as you pass stool, when you're finishing, you find that the stool is covered with blood. Two is that when you finish, you look in the toilet pan. The toilet pan is covered with blood. Now most toilet pans are white. Three, you wipe yourself, okay, for those who use tissue, and you find that the tissue has blood, but you do not have pain. That is the painless parectal bleeding. That is one big major sign for hemorrhoids. The other sign is people tend to get discharges, okay? Anal discharges. So someone, you clean yourself, but somehow you find your pants are wet, okay? Your pants are wet all the time with the discharge, okay? That is another sign of hemorrhoids, okay? Now, that is usually when the hemorrhoids are early, okay? Early meaning we have the different grades, okay? And these different grades, you have what we call first degree hemorrhoids, which will stay within the rectum. So you pass stool, you see bleeding, but you don't see anything. Second degree hemorrhoids will come, you go to pass stool, they come out, but they go back by themselves, but then you might see a bit of bleeding. Third degree, they will come out of the rectum to come outside, okay? And when you finish passing stool, you have to push them back. That is third degree. Fourth degree, they come out and they never go back, okay? Now, for usually the third degree and fourth degree, you will see them as swellings around the anal area as another symptom of these hemorrhoids, okay? Now, when they shift from being painless, when you shift from getting painless bleeding to pain now. Remember, you start from painless. Now, if you move to pain, now we have, it is like the fifth stage, which we call thrombosed. And even now, when someone gets the thrombosed, you can't even sit. Even sitting is very difficult because of the pain associated with these hemorrhoids, which are thrombosed. So those are the key symptoms that are associated with the hemorrhoids.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. I hope our viewers have gotten the key points about the signs and symptoms of hemorrhoids and the grading or the classification of hemorrhoids. So in case you're outside there and you're suffering from such disease condition, we are here to provide you the such information so that you know when to quickly seek medical assistance. That's actually one of the objectives of BTM Health. So, Doctor, so can these hemorrhoids at one time turn to be fetal? Like can a person die due to untreated? For example, those the thrombosed one, the last stage that you call like stage 5, can it go ahead to be dangerous, very dangerous to the person?
Hemorrhoids in themselves may not be dangerous, but you can imagine if you're losing blood every time you go to pass stool, and worst of all, you don't have pain. It means that if you're not even someone who is vigilant, you'll go past stool, bleed, go past stool, bleed. So before you know it, you get what we call anemia. Now, this anemia is low blood volume. So someone might be walking, but because they have low blood volume, they just collapse. They just reach, they are walking along the way, they collapse. And you know, once you collapse, you'll go into shock and maybe you're likely to die because of that, okay? But for the hemorrhoids themselves, they may not be like directly harmful, but the effects, especially of bleeding, okay, they will give you anemia, and that is what has fatality on our lives.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Now, Doctor, are hemorrhoids most common in females than males, according maybe to the statistics or the prevailing health data? Where do they mostly lie?
Now, our baseline in Uganda, okay, it's like, I call it equivocal, okay? Equivocal, but from our practices, actually we have realized men are more affected. Women tend to get affected during pregnancy, which men don't get, and that goes off once the pregnancy is gone. But most men don't drink enough water, and we tend to do a lot of heavy activity which further dehydrates us. And also most men will catch a chapati for lunch, a chikomando for lunch, and that worsens the constipation. And then also the health sick, most men will come to seek for health assistance when it's late. So men actually are more affected in our practice than the females.
Dear men outside there on BTM Health viewing us, you are hearing that this condition men affects us. Doctor, what advice do you give to us gentlemen and men outside there who are the breadwinners of the families, who are always toiling and hardworking so that these families can be there? What advice do you give them on hemorrhoids management early enough in such Christmas period?
I think the biggest thing is hydration. So drink as much water as possible, at least up to 3 liters per day of water, okay? And as much as you can, get an avocado, get a yellow banana, take some greens with your food, and that helps a lot to prevent constipation, and indirectly helps us to prevent these hemorrhoids. That's what I would say for men. Let's carry a bottle of water with us all the time. Hydration, hydration,
Hydration.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gideon Krigamba. And we've been discussing about hemorrhoids. It's one of the outraging topics that you couldn't miss with us on BTM Health with me, Kamara Daniel. Doctor, what message do you give to people in such Christmas festive about hemorrhoids and its overview?
Yeah, my advice is during this Christmas period, yes, the food is tasty, the meat is good, the food is tasty, but let us do a lot of hydration. And if you have any of these conditions, I know for most people, they feel like it's embarrassing. Okay, how can I go and tell people about bleeding from the anal area? So most people find it embarrassing, but please come and seek health care and from the experts. Okay, we are the experts at this. We have done it, we have read it, we know how to treat it, we know how to manage it. Come and seek expert health opinion, and we see how best to help you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Krigamba Gideon, with us in the studios of BTM Television. We are going for a short, quick break. When we return, we encourage our callers to start calling, asking about questions related to the topic tonight. And also, we shall come with a management, prevention, secondary management, and others that you will be needing to listen to. Kindly request you do not turn away from the TV of BTM Health.
Amanya n'eddoboozi nze Mukalazi Jamil okuva mu kitongole Smile Nutraceuticals Limited. Ekitongole ekikolera eddagala ery'obutonde. Kuno twabaleetedde eddagala lya ulcers. Tulina Ulcerite Bioformula. Eddagala ddungi lijjanjaba endwadde ez'olubuto okusingira ddala ulcers. Ekika kya ulcers kyonna omuli peptic, gastritis, duodenal, esophageal n'abalina akawuka ka H. pylori bacteria. Smile weight loss capsules. Capsules nga zikoleddwa mu butonde 100 ku kinnaakyo ziyambira ddala okumalawo omugejjo, okusala olubuto olunene, okusala amakudde n'okukendeeza amasavu ag'omusaayi. Ekiyamba okukendeeza burden oba obuzito eri omutima gwo n'okuyamba okwewala endwadde eziva ku mugejjo. Eddagala lyaffe lisangibwa mu matundiro g'amalagala gonna agasinga obungi, yani leading pharmacies mu ggwanga okugeza nga Africa Pharmacy, First Pharmacy, Ecofarm, Melaini ne pharmacies endala zonna. Osobola okutuukira ne kasimu 077 mukaaga 34 61 68 ne 0750 77 13 06.
Are you doing business? Is it on small scale or large scale? Do you want to reach a wider audience of potential customers? BTM TV is supercharging your business at very affordable prices. Grab the opportunity and advertise with the fastest growing channel and tap into our vast audience. Find us at Aga House Level 2, Mawanda Road, Kamocha, or our social media platforms at BTM TV, or call us on 0755 823 228 or 0793 001 858. BTM, we transform.
Once again, I take the opportunity to welcome you from a short, quick break, and we want to tell you that we love you so much, all our viewers, all those who are streaming live on Facebook pages, all those ones on our Twitter account with questions. We are seeing them and we're going to start answering them. Also encourage you to use our telephone numbers that are displayed on the screen so that you can call us directly and be able to answer you from here. We want also to remind you of our sponsors for this health talk show. The people who feel that you should know about health-related conditions, and those are the Arena Medical Center services that are located on Mawanda Road, and they tell you that they are always open 24/7 to offer you the quickest medical services that you deserve. And also the Smile Nutraceuticals herbal medicines that are important for your skin, for your ulcers, and for your general well-being. Once again, I want to welcome Dr. Victor. He's a surgeon. I told you viewers that tonight we have a range of surgeons because hemorrhoids is one of the common diseases. So, Dr. Victor, you're most welcome in the BTM studios tonight, and we'll be discussing about the management of hemorrhoids.
Thank you, Kamara.
So, as you've been following the discussion,
yes, I have.
How can we manage a person who has already suffered the disease? For example, now we are dealing with a health person, but now the person is already sick. How can we properly manage this person?
Thank you, Mr. Kamara. I'm glad to be here, viewers. Good evening to you, and I'm glad to talk about hemorrhoids because it's a common illness in the community or among our population. It's very common. So when it comes to management, or when it comes to what people call treating, like my colleague mentioned earlier, there are different stages, there are different grades of the disease. So the management will depend on the disease, on the grade of the disease. But it's very important to prevent. So the best way to manage them is to avoid getting them, because that way you will not reach the level of maybe wanting to come to the doctor to get a surgery or something like that. But let's imagine that you're already there and you must get management. So the management can be both medical and surgical. When I say medical, of course surgery is also medicine. So when I say medical, people wonder what's the difference.
I thought medical, you're going to give them medicines, and surgery you cut.
Yes, but surgery is also a medical approach, but this time round we need to do surgery. But when we say medical management, we mean that we are not doing surgery, but we can treat the hemorrhoids and they go. So let's imagine stage 1. Usually it is stage 1 and stage 2 which will need medical management without surgical intervention. Stage 3 and 4, most likely or usually, someone may end up in surgery. Though some people, early stage 3, may do medical management and they improve. So the medical management we have is to, first of all, you have to follow what my colleague said. Do the prevention, hydration, high fiber diet, so that, for example, if someone has grade 1, they don't progress to grade 2. And these are swellings which they said swellings in the anus, so, or in the anal canal, or in the rectum. So you have to reduce the inflammation. There is inflammation. Sometimes there is pain. And he talked of thrombosed hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids can also get infected. So if someone does the diet, they may prevent themselves from getting from one stage to another. Then if they get from one stage, or if we are treating, for example, grade 3 or grade 2 or 1, we want to reduce the inflammation, we give drugs to prevent that. We have seen, I don't know if you have heard of people in the community commonly using what we call suppositories.
Yes.
Yes, suppositories. These are, they look like bullets, or they are tablets for pushing down there, and they will reduce the inflammation, or they will reduce the swelling with time. So as the swelling is reduced and as someone follows the instructions of how to prevent them, they will slowly resolve and get back to normal. If they're infected, of course you have to give antibiotics. Sometimes some people go as complicate as far as getting pus down there. Sometimes we need to remove the pus surgically. And if I go ahead and talk about pain, some hemorrhoids pain, though most don't. And these are the internal hemorrhoids, which usually don't pain. But there's also what we call external hemorrhoids. Now, for external hemorrhoids, the stage doesn't matter. Usually there is always pain because of where they are located. So my colleague told you that someone comes and they can't even sit in a chair. So you have to manage the pain. Otherwise, this person will be uncomfortable. They will not even work.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Victor. Tonight with us on BTM Health, we are still discussing about hemorrhoids. For those who have just joined us, we encourage you to give us a call with your question or your comments on the number that is displayed on our screens. Please, you can make a call and we shall be able to answer you live from BTM Television. And so far we've looked about the definition of what hemorrhoids means. We've also seen the signs and symptoms, the causes, and now we are in the management in case you've already gotten the disease or the conditions, right? How best can we manage you in a hospital setting? Doctor, so this management is typically for the hospital. Can't a person find also this management from the herbalists or the people from those ones who practice other types of medicine?
I've heard about it, but I am not a herbalist, so I cannot speak on behalf of the herbalist, and I can only speak on behalf of what I professionally know. But I've seen them being used. I know what the outcome in the medical side is. I don't know what the outcome on the herbal side is.
But what could be your take?
My take is it's possible. Because when I talk about inflammations, I mean there are some some extracts which can reduce inflammation in our environment. So if someone is using it specifically to reduce inflammation or the swelling of the hemorrhoids, it will work, because that's the objective. If that extract does that, it will. And I've seen some herbal extracts come in form of tablets, and these ones actually are given orally, and they have been used or researched to work around that area to reduce the engorgement of the vessels, the inflammation, and some have worked, I guess.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Victor, once again. Our viewers tonight, kindly make a phone call using that studio line that's displayed on the screen. And also, in this Christmas, we want to appreciate all health workers who are trying to work hard so much, because you have to imagine diseases that's COVID-19 and Ebola diseases. They are all very fatal, and we encourage you to stay vigilant and be conscious about your lives. So as we go for Christmas, we encourage you to deposit any name for a health worker who has inspired you on our Twitter handles at BTM Health, at Kamara Daniel 3, and we shall be able to thank these health workers live from our studios, and we wish them a happy Christmas and prosperous New Year festive 2023. So, Dr. Victor, what is your communication or your advice to all the viewers about hemorrhoids management and the self-management, the way they should take themselves, and your Christmas information to them?
Oh, thank you. I would like to base my message around wellness, and because my colleague kept on telling them what he really emphasized, issues like hydration and diet. And when we go back to the basics of it, we don't need to wait to get hemorrhoids, or we are not eating well only to avoid hemorrhoids, or we are not behaving well only to avoid hemorrhoids. There are many things in there. If you eat high fiber diet, if you take enough water, there are many things you are preventing. So my message is that we should develop that personal discipline to have good lifestyle, eat well, drink enough water, do exercises. So at the end of the day, you have prevented the hemorrhoids, yes, but you have also prevented many other things. And it also comes down to discipline, because when you look at Christmas, all these festive seasons, people think it's all about eating everything you come across, but at the end of the day, you may get issues. So it's discipline. Pick what you should pick, and you don't have to eat everything, because you can never finish it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Victor, and has been explaining the management and how should people take themselves with the Christmas diets and the food that they have. So do you have the people to send a Christmas wish outside there? As we are concluding our talk show tonight, you are still encouraged to follow our chats at Kamara Daniel 3, that's our Twitter handle, and Kamara Daniel Facebook pages, and BTM Health tonight. You can always follow us every Friday 8 to 9 p.m. for more health talk and more health knowledge on the prevailing health conditions around you and surrounding the country. Doctor, give us your final remark about hemorrhoids and a Christmas wish to your loved ones. If you are married, please toss the Christmas wish to her.
Yes, thank you. The final remarks is that hemorrhoids is common. People should know that, and I'm sure they know, because I've had many people talk about hemorrhoids. And another name they use for hemorrhoids is piles. People will always say, I have piles, or I have hemorrhoids. So it's the same, or they mean the same thing. Like my colleague put it earlier, it's about diet and lifestyle. Diet and lifestyle, nothing else. My Christmas message, I'll first of all wish a Merry Christmas to my colleague. We are always working together and we are a team. My colleague, Dr. Gideon Kurigamba.
Okay.
He's actually my senior colleague, and he has mentored me in a lot of things we are doing together. And I thank him for that. And then to all my other colleagues and my fraternity, Association of Surgeons of Uganda, and of course my family at large. And thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Victor Chigonya, and we've been very happy tonight to host two surgeons at one point, and I hope our viewers have really enjoyed this talk show, and the comments shall keep on flowing. We want to wish a Merry Christmas and want to thank the health workers who are doing a great work. We want to thank so much the midwives who are outside there doing a great work. I want to thank so much Nahura Godwin. She's a midwife at Bwindi Community Hospital. She's doing a great work. We can't go without recognizing your hard work that is inspiring the nation. Also want to recognize the hard work of very many other health workers, including Akatura Rona. She's also a senior nurse. She has been a hard-working nurse since some good years back. And those people that are instrumental in healthcare deliveries. One, thank you so much, and want to inspire more health workers, and you pushing their names to the BTM studios every Friday at 9 p.m. We shall thank them and recognize their hard work, and with time we shall provide you gifts. Thank you so much for watching BTM Health every Friday at 8 9 p.m. with me, Kamara Daniel. Wish you the best. Stay safe. Your health is our priority.